Hello and welcome back to this program. My name is Tony Osi, the presenter of Tony Osi Civil Rights Talk. This is a hard talk on African matters. Most people often misunderstand my message. I am a revolutionist calling for a revolutionary change for Africa. As a Pan-Africanist, I am seriously craving for the unity and solidarity of Africa. I am trying to empower Africans instead. Calling each other's name and criticizing each other is not an answer to our problem. I have heard people say that the problem of Africa is beyond redemption. How is that? It's not true. And most Westerns that criticize Africa hasn't even traveled to Africa to see how much Africa has developed in 50 years of age. Compared to America, it's nearly 300 years. And UK, 500 years of age. The only problem we have is problem of unity and solidarity. And I'm only calling for introduction of a policy that will restructure people than thinking you're going to change people, because no, we can't change a man's DNA. I'm not thinking about changing people. I'm only thinking about policy that will work for people. Remember, no man claims to change a man's character within a bond program. We can only inculcate in them what they ought to know. Africa, remember, there is a saying that the world never turns on until somebody turns them on. And as the Bible says, I will bless you through the works of your hands. The works of your hands. Now, let us look at how the rest of the world perceive Africans and black people. I'm very concerned about this dilemma and stigma, and I think most of you do too. Black is beautiful. Black is natural and original. And black is adorable. And yet black can't see their potentials. Africa is blessed, and the weight of the planet is with Africa. And yet, Africa is the most vulnerable race due to a single factor: solidarity. I wouldn't be bothered if it was 100 years ago. But in this jet age, where every corner of the planet Earth has received education, it is appalling that the so-called leaders of Africa do not understand and own up with the duty of care to govern their own people. And yet, 90% of them studied in the developed Western world. At this point, Africa is supposed to rule the world, but yet Africa hasn't identified that the adoption of the Western system of governance is not for Africa, because of the diversity of language. The divide and rule brought by the colonials is to break Africa and for to keep them down. Africa, wake up! Again, let's understand that Europe and America was not built by wishful thinking. It was actually built by mankind and team spirit. They were able to achieve this through an organized system. You and I know. Now, the beauty of the European countries is a pull factor that is calling our African people to death, seeking greener pasture in Europe and America. How many more of African lives will be swallowed by the ocean shores of the European borders before these hopeless leaders of Africa will put their home in order? How many more lives will perish in the Libyan desert crossing before these sycophants will build a conducive environment for their own people? Remember, there is a saying that how you make your bed is so you lie on it. Even the smallest ants in the wild build themselves termite. Shame to you African leaders who has refused to grow up. Campaigning for Black Lives Matters, celebration of World Afro Day, celebration of independence is a despicable mockery and mental weakness. Last time I checked, Africa is still under modern day slavery. Africa, wake up. The only one way we can overcome this inferiority complex is to invest in brain and technological enhancement. Definitely money is not an option. If we recall in 1980s, China were mocked and despised, branded copycats, and today China has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt the capabilities and so far been endorsed as one of the world superpower. That's how it's done. Because when a child washes their hand properly, they dine with the kings. We're often perplexed about racism and fascism, and I think the racial discrimination against African and black is not about skin color. It is associated with the mentally incapacitated, now manifested into demonizing Africans. Let us not forget that the beauty of this planet relies in the diversity of color, which is omniscience. Why is black people referred to as colored people? I don't know. I think that is actually wrong. Colored people are actually the entire human race. Black, white, Asians, Persians, Arab, and what have you. We must identify with these stereotypical stigmatizations and deal with it. Let's come together, Africa. Let us unite. Let us denounce self-glorified achievement. Let us embrace team spirit, because team effort is like a multiple force that forms effervescence. Let us stop putting ourselves and making ourselves vulnerable by putting ourselves at the receiving end. We don't need Western charity. Actually, charity begins at home. Let us learn to love one another and protect one another and provide for one another. A good leader is like a father and a mother that is constantly seeking welfare and good legacy for their children. We do not have leaders. What we have is a bunch of sycophants. Wake up, Africa. Wake up. I'm looking forward to see you next week for a new topic. Tune on to this program every week. There's a lot more to hear. We're here to unveil the truth that's been swept under the carpet. It's time we take the bulls by the horns and take our futures in our hands. Thanks a lot for every one of you that supported us, that's viewed our program and subscribed to the program and liked the program and have shared it. God bless you for everything you've done, because together we will make it. We are joining hands together to fight this cause. It's our cause, African cause. Thank you. Please do not forget, subscribe, share, like. Thank you and God bless you.